Good afternoon and welcome to the June 8th, 2022 regular board meeting of the Sunshine Coast Regional District. I'd like to call the meeting to order at 1:32 p.m. and acknowledge that the Sunshine Coast Regional District is within the territory of the Seashelt and Squamish First Nations. We have an agenda before us. Yes, not amended. Is there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, may I have the motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Director Gabius, seconded Director McMahon. Any discussions? No? All in favor? Cool, got that done. Then we can move on to the minutes of the regular board meeting minutes of May 25th, 2023, which is Annex A, pages 4 to 10. Any omissions, errors within the minutes? No? Hearing none? Yes.
Sorry, are we on policy?
No, we're on regular board meeting minutes of May 25th. We good?
Yep.
Okay. So, can I have a motion to adopt the minutes as presented? Yes, thank you. Director Inkster, seconded Director Gabius. No discussions? All in favor? Any opposed? Done. Okay, so we're on to business arising from the minutes or any unfinished business. Is there any business arising from the minutes or unfinished business anybody'd like to raise? No, seeing none. We'll just move on to presentations and delegations, which we don't have any. And we're down to the Board Policy Review Committee recommendations number 1 to 29 of June 1st, 2023, Annex B, pages 11 to 15. Okay. So before adopting the recommendations as a block, does the directors want to pull any? Yes. Director McMahon?
Sorry, I'm trying to find all my pages. So recommendation number 8, which I haven't found at the moment, is on page 13, thank you. My recollection is that we referred that for review and minor revision. That's a pretty new policy. There were a couple of questions that arose about it, but I didn't think it was a major revision. That was the procurement policy. And just to be a stickler for detail, on recommendation 12 on the same page, I'd like to move an apostrophe. That the title of the policy be amended to reimbursement of directors, S apostrophe after travel and other expenses.
I think so you're suggesting that you want to talk about recommendation number 8 and recommendation number, what was the other recommendation, Director? 12?
12. Do those have to be pulled separately for?
They should, yes.
Or is this just housekeeping?
Yes.
Thank you for the question. I would recommend that recommendation 8 be pulled and amended for minor revision. However, recommendation 12 is it's an administrative housekeeping correction that we can just make. We don't need a board resolution.
Okay, so is there any other recommendations you want to pull to discuss, or is that it?
I just wanted to give some information on recommendation number 9, insurance for personal vehicles, that I did upgrade my insurance and it costs $16 more a year.
Okay, thank you for that information. Okay, so we're just pulling recommendation number 8. So can I have a motion to...
Kate's got her hand up.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So we'll approve all the recommendations except for number 8, which is pulled. So could I have a motion to that effect? Yes,
Okay.
thank you. I see a seconder. Okay, any further discussion? No? All those in favor? Done. Any opposed? No, that's passed. Okay, so now let's look at recommendation number 8, which, Director McMahon, what page did you say that was on?
13.
Got it, okay. What would you like to do with that?
Just for further review and minor revision.
Okay,
Like I say, it's a recent policy. I wouldn't want to give Valerie a heart attack. There were just a few questions that came up.
okay, that's, Director McMahon has made that motion. Do I have a seconder, please? Yes, I see a seconder. Director Stanford. Any further discussion? No? All those in favor? Any opposed? No, that passes. Good. Done. That was item number 3. So now we're moving on to item number 4, if everybody is with me here, which is Annex C, pages 16 and 17. Before we adopt that motion, anybody want to discuss it? Seeing none, can I have a motion to adopt that then? Yes, Director Toth, seconder, Director Gabius. All in favor? Any opposed? None. That one's done. Okay, so we're on to item number 5 now, which is Annex D, pages 18 to 20. It's voting all directors. It's a weighted vote. And I believe Manager Facility Services would like to talk to this, or do we have someone that would like to discuss this one for us? Nah. Is he online? Shelley, yes.
Sorry, Chair. Thank you. Yes, my apologies. Something must have come up with Manager Van Velzen. So this is a contract term extension for additional 2 years or 22 months. And staff's recommendation is to renew that term. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Does anybody have any questions? Yes, Director Bax?
So I think you might have answered my question already. You said, first you said it was 2 years and then you said it was 22 months. I was going to ask why the final year of the contract was actually lower, because I don't see prices going down anywhere. But I guess it's because it's a 10-month prorated contract is the last year, 10 months. Is that correct?
I believe you are correct, Director Bax. Thank you.
I don't see, yes, I do see Manager Van Velzen here, but he doesn't seem to be disagreeing with you, GM Gagnon. So, everybody, we have some recommendations on page 18. Moved?
Hearing no questions, move.
Yes, thank you. Do we have a seconder? Yes, it's seconded. Any further discussions? No? All those in favor? Any opposed? No. Thank you very much. So now we actually are down to communications then, which is Annex E, page 21. There we go. It's regarding a letter of support for the Clean Coast, Clean Waters Initiative Fund Grant application. So Annex E, page 21. I think we could use a motion for that. Yes. You'd like to make a motion that the SCRD provide the Nicholas Sontag Marine Education Center in Gibson's a letter of support for their application for the Clean Coast, Clean Waters Initiative Fund?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Seconded. Great. Any discussion? No? All those in favor? Any opposed? No, passed. Now we're on to the fun part here. We have a whole lot of bylaws. Would there, anybody like to talk to them as a general package?
Tina's in the gallery. She needs to be
We need to
promoted.
get Tina promoted so she can talk to these for us.
Aha.
Did she make it?
Yep.
Ah, good. Yes, CFO Perot. I see you there.
Yes, thank you. So these particular reserve bylaws are housekeeping items. So through the process from year after year, per our financial sustainability policy, reserves are or surpluses at the end of the year are supposed to go into reserves. So these are functions that have had operational reserves established and created. However, we do not have the appropriate statutory bylaws for them. So we're going to be doing, I believe, 8 today, and we're going to be doing a supplemental 8 coming up in the next board meeting. So yes, that's it.
Ah, thank you. Does any director have a question about any bylaws before we start, or would you prefer we get down there? Yes, Director McMahon?
Well, if we're doing them as a bit of a lump right now, I do have a question about the Half Moon Bay smoke control. There's 2 smoke control funds, one for Area B and one for Area D. And anecdotally, my understanding was that when the new burning bylaws were passed about 15 years ago or so, there was a whole lot of concern at the board that it was going to unleash a bylaw apocalypse, and that there would be, our bylaw officers would be inundated with burning complaints. And so they put aside funds to cover this expected expense. And what I heard was that this never eventuated. And so the funds for a number of years just sat there unspent. And I'm wondering why we still have this, because it could be part of the regular bylaw enforcement. And can we just get rid of these 2 smoke control funds that are tiny amounts of money and probably cost more to administer than they actually spend on the costs? Thank you.
CFO?
Yes, thank you, Chair. And I will defer to our corporate officer if she has any further comments. So as far as these particular smoke control bylaws, they were actually established specific for the purpose of managing. So for us to roll it into another service, I'm not sure we would be able to do that. And that's the question over to our corporate officer. And so the same process of establishing the bylaws would have to happen to dissolve them, essentially. So that would be quite a process, and I'm not sure it would be something that we'd want to undertake. I know that we use any surpluses to offsetting taxation. So most of the time there's almost nil impact to the taxpayers associated with that. And so we have these very small pots of money. So if the need no longer exists there, what we would do is we would potentially look to potentially make these services dormant. And so we would just not raise any requisition associated. And if we did have to respond, then we would, and then it would potentially generate a very small deficit that we would address as part of year end. So that's an alternate solution for this particular item.
Thank you. Corporate Officer, did you have a comment on that?
Yes, thank you for the question. So in order to contemplate potential implications if they do not apply to separate services, that's something I would need to do further research on. But what we could suggest, if you're not ready to read this bylaw today, we could pull it and do some research, get further information, and then we could bring it back to the next meeting with the next batch.
I have a, oh, yes. Yeah, I had one more question before we decide. If we do pass it the way it is, we could still change it anytime we wanted, couldn't we?
It could be repealed. It would come back as a repeal bylaw, and we would repeal it.
And so we would just do that as an order of business later on in the year.
Correct.
Yes. Director McMahon?
Yes, perhaps it's because of all this policy work where we successfully repealed so many irrelevant policies that I wonder about some of these very small pots of money that have been established and that are just, you know, on the books shuffling very small amounts of money around. So I don't care whether we pass this or not, but perhaps we could move to have the corporate officer investigate what would be involved in making some of these very small, I don't know whether they're called services or functions or what, making them dormant or in fact repealing them if they are no longer of any real value to the organization.
Would that be a motion? Or is that just a question to see how much work it might take to do something like that and if it would be a reasonable way to proceed?
Thank you for the question. If that's direction for staff action, it would be a motion.
And would staff have the capacity to do that this year?
Should the board direct it? Yes.
Yeah, then you will, I know. Okay, thank you. Director McMahon?
Yeah, I was moving some initial research, scoping. How's scoping as a term?
Okay. That seems, do I have a seconder then for that? Yes, I do. Any further discussion? No? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? No? Okay, so we're going to go forward. We're going to work on all of these then. Okay, so we're on to item number 7, which is bylaw, which is office building upgrades operating reserve fund establishment, bylaw number 743, 2023. Can I have a motion for first reading, please? Director McMahon, seconded Director Inkster. And any further discussion? No? All those in favor? Any opposed? No. Second reading for bylaw number 743, 2023. Motion? Yes, Director Toss, seconded Director White. All those in favor? Any opposed? No. This is going to be long. So third reading of bylaw number 743, 2000. Yes, Director Toth? Oh, no? Director Bax? No? Oh, you're just going to wait? I got to finish this. I got to actually do third reading bylaw number 743, 2023. Motion, please. Yes, Director Toth, seconded. Director somebody? Yes, Director Bax. All those in favor? Thank you. And finally, adoption of bylaw number 743, 2023. I see a mover, seconder. All in favor? Thank you. Boy, I can get through a lot of stuff in a hurry, eh? Okay, we're on to item number 8, which is Annex G, page 23, which is a Half Moon Bay Smoke Control Operating Reserve Fund Establishment Bylaw number 744 of 2023. First reading. Motion for first reading. Beg pardon?
No, it's just
Yeah, okay. Seconded. All in favor? Second reading for bylaw number 744, 2023. Yes, Director Toth, sorry.
Thank you, Chair. I was trying to catch your attention before we did first reading here. I think in light of the previous motion that we passed, I think it would be prudent for us to hold off on this until we heard back about the staff report rather than implementing this reserve fund and then repealing it in 3 to 6 months. We're just generating work for staff doing this.
Okay, so that would be a motion that would apply to item number 8 and number 9?
No, it's only 8. It's just 8.
Just 8? Okay. Just 8, yes. Okay, thank you. And did it get a seconder for that motion? Yes, we have. Everybody understand what we're up to here? We're not going to deal with item number 8 as a motion, so we're just going to take it off the list. If everybody votes yes, it's off the list. All those in favor? Okay, it's off the list. Thank you, Director Toth. Sorry, I didn't see your hand. So we're to item number 9 then, which is Annex A, page 24, which is the Half Moon Bay Fire Protection Operating Reserve Fund Establishment Bylaw, number 745, 2023. Can I have a motion for first reading? Yes, thank you. Seconder, yes. No discussions. All in favor? Any opposed? No. Done. Item number 10. Well, no, I got to do second reading. Sorry, everybody. Second reading of bylaw number 745, 2023. Motion, yes. Seconded, yes. All in favor? None opposed. Second reading done. Third reading of bylaw number 745, 2023. Motion for third reading. Yes. Seconded, yes. All those in favor? Good. This is for adoption of bylaw number 745, 2023. Can I see a motion for that? Yes, seconded. All those in favor? That's passed. Perfect. Now we're actually on to bylaw number 746, 2023, which is the Egmont Fire Protection Operating Reserve Fund Establishment, Annex I, page 25. So this is first reading for bylaw number 746, 2023. Can I see a mover? I see a seconder. All in favor? Any opposed? No, passed. Third reading for bylaw number 746, 2023. Can I see a motion, please? And a seconder? Yes, thank you.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes.
This is second reading, not third reading.
Was it second reading?
This is second reading that you're doing right now.
I
not
was
third.
too eager. I checked it off already. Okay, this is second reading for bylaw number 746, 2023, and I do have to get it right to make it legal. So I see a motion and I see a seconder. All those in favor? Thank you. This is third reading for bylaw number 746 of 2023. Can I have a motion, please? And a seconder, yes. All those in favor? Done. And this would be for adoption of bylaw number 746 of 2023. Can I have a motion for adoption? Yes. A seconder? Yes, thank you. All in favor? Yes. Any opposed? No. Okay, we did that. Item number 10's done. We're on to item number 11, which is Emergency Telephone 911 Operating Reserve Fund Establishment Bylaw number 746, 2023, which is Annex J, page 26. Can I have a motion for first reading for that bylaw, please? Yes, I see a motion. I see a seconder. All in favor? Any opposed? No. Done. This is the second reading for bylaw number 745 of 2023. Can I see a mover? Whoops, what did I do? It was bylaw number 747 of 2023. My apologies. Okay, and it's the second reading for that bylaw. Okay, motion, Director Inkster, seconder. Yes, thank you. All in favor? I'll slow down a little bit here, you guys, see if I can get it right. Okay, this is third reading for bylaw number 747 of 2023. Can I have a mover? Yes. A seconder? Yes, thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? No, that passes. This is for adoption of bylaw number 747 of 2023. Jesus. Can I have a mover, please? And a seconder? Yes, I see that. Thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? No. So that passes, and that takes care of item number 11. Just a sec. That's a good idea. Okay, we're on to item number 12, which is Sunshine Coast Emergency Planning Operating Reserve Fund Establishment Bylaw number 748 of 2023, and this is for first reading. Can I have a mover, please? And a seconder? Done. All those in favor? Any opposed? No. That's first reading. second reading of bylaw number 746 of 2023. Can I have a mover, please? Yes, seconder? Need a seconder, someone? What's that? Did I do it again? Bylaw number 748 of 2023. You guys are listening. Did I get it right that time? Ah, good. Okay, can I have a motion then, please? Yes, I see a motion. I see a seconder. All those in favor? Any opposed? No. So we did that. So this is third reading of bylaw number 748 of 2023. Can I have a mover, please? And a seconder? I see both. All in favor? Any opposed? No, that passes. And so this is a motion for adoption of bylaw number 748 of 2023. Can I see a mover, please? And a seconder? Yes. All in favor? Any opposed? No, passes. It's number 12. We're on to item number 13, which is Fleet Maintenance Operating Reserve Fund Establishment Bylaw number 749 of 2023, which is Annex L, page 28. Can I have a motion for first reading of bylaw number 749, 2023? I see a mover. I got a seconder. All those in favor? Any opposed? No, passes. Second reading of bylaw number 749, 2023. A motion, please, for second reading? Yes. Do I have a seconder? Yes. All those in favor? Any opposed? No. Passes. A motion for third reading of bylaw number 749 of 2023. A mover, please. Yes, Director Inkster, seconded. Director Gabius, all those in favor? Any opposed? No. That passes. And this is for adoption, motion for adoption of bylaw number 749 of 2023. Can I have a motion, please? Yes, Director Gabius, seconder. Yes, Director Inkster, perfect. All those in favor? Any opposed? No. Good. Whew. Okay, we're on to item 14, which is Annex M, page 29, and it is a Building Maintenance Operating Reserve Fund Establishment bylaw number 750 of 2023. Can I have a motion for first reading, please? Yes, Director Back, seconded Director Gabius. All those in favor? Any opposed? No, that passes. This is for second reading of bylaw number 750 of 2023. Motion for second reading, please. Yes, Director McMahon, second Director Gabius. All those in favor? Any opposed? Nope, that passes. Third reading for bylaw number 750, 2023. Motion for third reading, please. Yes, Director Back, seconded Director McMahon. All those in favor? Any opposed? No, seeing none, that passes. And this is for adoption of bylaw number 750 of 2023. A motion, please, to adopt. Director Back, seconded. Director Gabius. All those in favor? It passes. Phew. Thank you, everybody. That, I think, is a new record. And everybody's still awake, so this is really good.
56 times I raised my
Did
arm.
you? Yeah, gee. Yeah. So, we are moving on to directors' reports. I think I will start from the left today. Yeah. So Director Stamford, please.
Thank you, Chair. So my director's report, we had a very informative Ports Committee meeting on May 29th, a discussion around the status of Hopkins Landing and the importance of that particular structure to not just Hopkins Landing area, but communities around Howe Sound. So we'll be visiting we'll be finding out more about the status of that and how to make it safe in our June 15th meeting. So that'll be next week. I hosted Director Bax on Gambier Island. He came to visit me for the afternoon, and I took him around all the highlights of the Southwest Peninsula on Gambier, including our community center and the docks. I think it was fun. Hopefully he thought so too. And then on June 5th, the various fire equipment groups across Gambier met at Sea Ranch, which is Port Graves, close to Port Graves dock area. It's a co-op community. And they discussed fire readiness for the island for the upcoming season. Gambier, as well as other areas in the Area F, are extremely dry, and we were very happy to hear that as of now, campfires are now banned in rural areas. One of the things that islanders have often asked for is that there be a coordination between bans within fire protection areas and rural areas, because it does get confusing trying to provide the right kind of communication information for people across the rural areas to make sure that everything they understand fire bans and that they are done earlier rather than later. So we'd like to see that coordinated, and I'll be working on that. And I think that's where I'll leave it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Did you drive Director Bax around in your little cart?
I did so, my little electric golf cart.
That sounds like fun.
It is. You can come and visit. I will drive you around too.
I will. Thank you. Yes, Director Gavious, please.
Thank you, Chair. Happy Pride Month, happy Indigenous Knowledge Month, and happy Seniors Week. I went to a few meetings. This past couple of weeks, I went to the library board meeting. And at the time, they were still waiting for their final budget. So I just heard from my colleague, Director Toth, that the council, Seashell Council, passed their funding for the library for 2023. So they'll be very happy to hear that. And they are also reintroducing their cognitive care kits. So that'll make a lot of people happy, and they will also be participating in the Siaya Day Parade, and I will be there to march along the library. Also went to the seniors planning table meeting where there was a presentation by Kelly Foley of Cover the Coast, and she presented her findings from the housing research that she's been doing for the past few months. Very interesting, great data. I'll be happy to share the presentation with you. That was very enlightening. There's a lot of work to be done, especially when it comes to seniors housing, supportive housing on the coast. And there were some creative solutions that were presented that are very interesting. And I would love to hear what you have to say about those. And that's about it for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was interesting. Yes, Director McMahon, please.
Yes, thank you to Director Gabius for pointing out that we do not dress like this every day, but this is because it's Pride Month. And I did go to the Pride kickoff at Persephone, although I didn't attend the festivities on the Sunday. Last week was Go By Bike Week in BC, and I did bike to the SCRD, which I would love to say was a wonderful experience, but I've got to say it really wasn't, even with my new e-bike that took the oomph out of the hills. But, you know, our roads are not improving. The roadsides are terrifying. The traffic is getting worse all the time. And, you know, I felt like I was taking my life in my hands coming here, even though I know all the back routes and the deke-arounds. So I wish I could recommend that everybody does it, but I'm not sure I'm going to. On May 24th, I attended the gas tax webinar. The province and the federal government are renegotiating the gas tax agreement. I got some good information, but I want to follow it up some more because the constraints on how we can spend money are causing problems in the rural areas, and we need some more flexibility. I'd like to thank Gibson's Marine Search and Rescue for their little celebration of their new boathouse in Gibson's Harbor. I very much enjoyed that event on May 30th. On Friday last week, I attended a colonized rehab course online on Zoom. It was interesting, and it was attended by a variety of people from across BC, which was actually pretty interesting. On Monday, we had our monthly touch base with affordable housing, where we have the municipal liaisons just have a 1-hour meeting to say what's going on in our various jurisdictions. My interest right now is seeing what we can do to promote more secondary suites and auxiliary dwellings in the rural areas, and what are the barriers and the challenges. In that regard, I also attended a presentation, and there's a recording for anyone who's interested, on the retrofit concierge program that Gibson's Whistler and Rossland have participated in that helps homeowners navigate all the regulations about retrofitting their homes, and also all the programs that offer rebates if you can figure them out. And they're aiming at smaller communities in more rural areas, and they are running up against all kinds of obstacles. But this is great because they're testing it, right? They're test driving this. One of the big challenges is contractors, which will not surprise anybody here. And they're looking for ways to incentivize contractors to work with homeowners to retrofit homes when they're already busy and it may not be their highest priority. So I will be interested in following that more. And we're not at the stage now, I think, that we could get on board with this, but thank heavens, communities with deeper pockets are getting there before us. Yesterday, I attended the e-bike ride at the town of Gibson's, where TRAC took a bunch of councillors around to review the road structure. And then I presented to the Labour Council. They asked me for a short presentation, and that was fun, and there were lots of good questions. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You've been really busy. Director Bax, please.
Thank you, Chair. Since we last made our reports, the first thing I did was on May 26th, with a couple of other members here, I attended the overdose crisis conference. It was very, very interesting, great information, it's hard to it's emotionally difficult information to process, but it's such important work. And I will be following up with a visit to Vancouver for the provincial roundup on June 22nd, 23rd. I sent a report out to my fellow directors after that first conference, and I'll do the same after this 2-day conference in Vancouver. And then on a much happier note, I did tour Gambier Island in a little golf cart, and that was awesome. I stopped by Director Stanford's house and met her husband and daughter and cat, and I toured the fire prevention equipment that they have on their island, and talked with some of the members of their ad hoc fire department and encouraged them. And I've been talking with other people within the fire departments about how we can support them, and if there's anything that we can do to improve their capabilities. Apparently Director Stanford's credit is very good on the Stormaway. I managed to get on without actually paying until I paid twice on the way back, so that was interesting. I did my couple of regular Saturday morning cafe office hours at the Gumboot Cafe, and had some very interesting conversations, some challenging conversations with some of my constituents on 2 of the last Saturdays. Last Sunday, I represented the Sunshine Coast Regional District at the 24th annual graduation ceremony for the local Air Cadets, the Skookumchuck branch of the Air Cadets, and that was a very interesting thing to see these young people and how they are working their way to becoming pilots. Some of them, they're working with the local airport and doing work on the ground and learning. One of their senior officers, who's like, I don't know, 16 or 17-year-old girl, she's going for her pilot's license this summer. So that was really interesting. This week, Monday, I went to the Legacy Garden that's associated with the Roberts Creek Elementary School, and I toured that. Very interesting project going on that's been going on for a number of years, and listened to some presentations there. They've got a seed bank going on, and there's permaculture projects going on there, and it's teaching the kids how to garden and connect them with their food source. And coming up, I'm looking forward to sitting down at Zoom with Moti tomorrow morning and talking about a number of different things. And this Saturday, we've got the Seychelles Nation Council is being inaugurated. I forget the word. They're being the ceremony for them taking office. Sworn in. They're being sworn in this Saturday, and I'm really looking forward to attending that at the Longhouse. It's one way that I can create relationship with our neighbors in the Seychelles Nation. Also, Saturday's a busy day. I'm going to be going to the Labor Council meeting. It's a greet chat type of thing, and then Saturday night I am fortunate enough to have the role as a district director, and so I continue to get invited to the Roberts Creek Volunteer Firefighter annual dinners, and so I will be sitting down with some of my former brothers and sisters who are still current brothers and sisters that are in the fire service, and it's one of the great events that the SCRD helps to recognize the fire service by providing funding for these dinners, and it's a really great way to recognize the volunteers that are safeguarding our communities. On the Monday, the 12th, there's a Zoom meeting about, it's called Get on the Bus, Empowering Youth with Free Transit. And I've already sent information around to some of the staff and the other directors, and I hope that we can attend this Zoom meeting. It's Monday the 12th, and it's all about how we can support free transit for our youth to help turn them into lifelong transit riders. And besides that, the weather's good. I'm getting out on my bike and enjoying it. Not the same kind of bike, sorry. Mine's a 1200 cc.
Okay, thank you very much. You're quite a busy guy. Wow. Director Inkster, please.
You put the two things together.
Yeah.
Director, yeah.
Director.
That's gonna go viral. So just a few things. Festival of the Written Arts tickets are on sale. July 1st, Saturday, parade and festivities. And remember, there's a ferry meeting on June 17th at the Seaside Center for anybody to go and talk about ferries. Thanks.
I got to check my calendar. Yes. Director White, please.
That was an awesome report. Thank you,
Yes.
Director Inkster. I do a really extensive report every month to Town of Gibson's, which is written. We all do our reports differently. And I think, we had a discussion how we were going to do it at the town very early in our term, and I think we should do that here too. I think it'd be really valuable to talk about who we're reporting to, what the difference is between what we're doing here. Are we reporting to the board? Are we talking to the, our fellow directors, or is this like overlap with the constituency report that directors tend to do in mail outs and blogs and things? And I think we should have that discussion, and I hope we do soon.
That's a good report. Thank you. Director Toth, please.
Thank you, Chair. Fortunately, I attended a number of the things that other directors have mentioned, so I can knock a few things off my list. One thing I did want to highlight with the Local Leadership United dialogue workshop that I attended with everybody on this side of the table, as it happens. Nobody in British Columbia has been infected with HIV, Hep B, or Hep C from a dirty needle ever. And it's something that the BC CDC does keep statistics on because they need to do follow-ups. And it's something that the BC CDC is happy to talk about with people if they don't believe that statistic. The largest sort of alarmism when it comes to dirty needles actually comes from WorkSafe BC. So it was quite interesting to hear because it wasn't something I'd known before that. I'll be at that session in Vancouver as well, so looking forward to more information and more dialogue. We had a proposal for development in West Sechelt that came to council last night that's looking at a well field and a reservoir as a community amenity contribution. So that's something that we've referred them to go to the SCRD for comment and come back with sort of letters of support. Hopefully that'll get sorted out quickly. We all know that the SCRD is looking for a reservoir in West Sechelt eventually. It was even mentioned in the regional growth framework. We had on May 31st, we had a non-conforming land use appeal hearing, which was a fascinating meeting. The purpose of it was for people who are looking to operate a short-term rental type 3, which is no operator on site, to appeal to council for confirmation of legal non-conforming status under our last zoning bylaw. And so they'd already gone through an approval process with our staff and had been declined. And so they had the right to appeal to council. And so that was the purpose of that meeting on the 31st. And it was something that staff didn't have a lot of precedent looking around even the rest of the province for information on how to conduct this. So I think the meeting went well. We approved some, we didn't approve some. So it was it was a very interesting process. And then finally, planning for the Canada Day Parade is well underway, along with other activities to tie in with National Indigenous Peoples Day, which is the last week of June. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We're going to be advertising and hopefully looking for people to walk in the parade and participate in the parade and maybe even go in a dunk tank in Hackett Park.
You said you're going in the dunk tank, I heard? Oh, no. They tried to get me into the dunk tank too, and I said, no, you'd just drown me. Director Paul, please.
Thanks, Chair, and good afternoon, directors. This is a pretty busy time of year for us when we're coming into ceremonies and honoring things for like our youth and stuff. We do a lot of stuff with like kindergarten graduation, 7 and 12. And this past Saturday, we had rites of passage for our youth. Coming out of that, I was trying to get into adulthood and teach a lot of stuff with that. We also had a canoe awakening to start our canoe families back up and stuff, whatever, to try to get youth and other members out to start canoeing and try to do something a bit healthy outdoors and stuff. So we got all the preparations for the other graduation stuff and working on some stuff, I think, with the District of Sechelt on the CIA days and Canada Day stuff. And we started the process of looking into retrofitting all our homes on nation lands for water conservation and starting to look into funding, how we can fund rainwater collection and stuff on it to start that kind of process, and looking into all kinds of opportunities for that to plant drought resistant stuff on all of our buildings, properties and stuff, whatever. So as we all know, it's a long process and a lot of work needs to be done. So it's moving forward, I think. I think that's all I got right now. Thanks.
Yes, thank you. It's always interesting. It's such a community atmosphere for the seashell. It's really nice to hear. I'm going to be attending that ceremony on Saturday. I'm quite honored to be invited. Made a lot of friends there that's going to be there, and it's interesting to hook up with them again. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you for the invitation. It was much appreciated and honored. I attended an iced tea meeting just recently on Friday, and they have around about 1 million left to give out in 2023, and they're well on the way of getting that done. But the good news is that government is proposed to give them another 10 million, and it's supposed to be done in November. It has to be an act of legislature to make it happen. But I think it was November, wasn't it, Director White?
Looking at the legislation?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need 150 million.
I know we need 150, but we'll take 10 for now. So at least it'll be carrying on. Let's see. I think everybody was aware of the squatter situation on Garden Bay Road, and they're actually cleaning it up now. Two of the more notorious residents have actually gone, and their trailers are gone. And they're trying to get the stuff off. I think they're into 4 bins so far of stuff that's been removed, and they're still working on it. Miraculously, there's junk cars popping up elsewhere that are abandoned. So hopefully Modi will follow those up and get them as well. They painted some yellow lines in Pender. Really great. It's amazing. I was driving on these yellow lines, and I said, did they build us a new road? Such a shock to see work done on these secondary highways. And I just wanted to inform everybody and to ask you to help me with this. The media has been requesting interviews, and so I've had some themes that I put together and been talking to. I'll just tell you what they are. And then if you have any suggestions for some different ones, please let me know. And if you see me on TV and I've messed up, please let me know that too, so I can fix that. So I started out with talking about when we started to plan for the extreme drought years. And it actually was 2014. And we knew it was sunnier, hotter, drier than history had showed. And we'd had a projection that there was going to be one in the next 25 years, so we were getting ready. And we made 2 projects to provide 1.5 million cubic meters of water. And they actually started in 2014. And we kind of forget about that. It was so long ago. And unfortunately, by 2019, the 2 projects were ready to build. And there was a proposed delivery date of 2022 for these 1.5 million cubic meters of water. We'd needed emergency measures up till then. We'd had a couple of instances where we had to go stage 3 and 4 restrictions to get by. But theoretically, if those ones would have been done in 2020, we would not have had to have emergencies. And just going over the history, we actually had a siphon by then into Chapman as one of the emergency measures to get the water, enough water. Unfortunately, the residents declined to fund the water meters, so that was 500,000 cubic meters of storage gone that we needed. And then very shortly after, the minister denied a permit for work on the Chapman Dam, which was supposed to be 1 million cubic meters. So by 2020, the original board actually had proposed 1.5. million cubic meters of storage. And their plans were scuttled outside their control. And we forget about that. They knew, they tried.
That's a good story.
Yeah, but that's the history. I was reviewing the history and I put that together. So then by 2020, the new board, they were told early in 2019 that these projects were gone and they had to do something. The new board turned out to start projects that turned into Church, was supposed to be the first one delivered, Church Wellfield, then followed by meters, then followed by Langdale, then followed by a reservoir. And that was the plan. That come out of the work in 2020. And by 2023, we'd missed the 2022 deadline, which was a long shot anyways, but we'd give bonuses to the contractors to try and see if they could get it done. And they would have got it done, except for the supply chain issues. They couldn't get the pump, they couldn't get the control. And so now is that since then, it's even sunnier, it's even hotter, it's even drier, and it's actually lasting a month longer. That's just the facts. You can go by the water that we've used and how long it happened. And so we actually added a month by end of 2022, which made it a pretty tough challenge, moving target. And I think everybody thinks that it's going to be another extreme dry period in 2023. We're planning for one, as we just heard this morning. And of course we have to plan. 2 in a row, one would think that might be the new norm. It's not even emergency anymore. But there's a little bit of good news in 2023. We got a new well field ready, and it's going to be over 700,000 cubic meters of water. And if we still consider that 1.5 was what we needed, it's probably a little bit more now, but that isn't even half what we need. So it's not enough stored water. And we'd really be kidding ourselves if we thought we weren't going to be depending on emergency measures for water this summer. We're going to have to use siphons, and we can only use them when we declare stage 4. We're going to have to use the EFN reductions. We can only get them under emergency measures. But there's also some good news, and that is that we now have the infrastructure in for Gibson's Water, and if they have some surplus water for us, we can use it like we did way back in 2022, late in 2022. We don't know how that's working, but it's a possibility. And we have a request in to the government for EFN reductions before we need them, which should help us keep the stored water. So but no matter what, the best we could hope for in 2023, if it's a repeat of 2022, is about a month later of 3 and 4. So it's hardly good news. But we did learn, though, from 2022, is the creek would actually have dried up without the dam storage. We went down to 2,000 cubic meters a day of water available from the watershed. The creek needs 17,200 cubic meters to keep the fish alive. If we weren't releasing that water from our dam, those fish would be dead, not only the ones that were coming up the creek, but also the ones that were in the creek. So that's definitely a victory for us and for everybody. We managed to do that. And that's the theme. I'm hoping we get our story out. It helps get our story out. So if you see the news articles, that's what I was trying to say. We'll see what I did say when we see them. Anyways, that's my report, and I thought you should know. I wish I'd had time to tell you before. I didn't realize that the interviews were going to start so soon, and I was putting those themes together hours before, and Donna helped me with the delivery and what reporters like to hear, which I much appreciated. And so staff helped me. No, this is This is CBC Global. Yeah, I will put it in Harbor Spiel again. Yes, yes, I will. And I'm trying to get an interview with the Coast Reporter so I can get it in there. The same thing, only I'll give them notes after the interview so that they get it right. No, to help them. That's my intent. Yes. Coast Reporter's actually been very helpful. They're a great newspaper. They're helping us get the word out. I just wish Aiden hadn't decided to have a kid right now and bailed on me. Everybody knew Aiden has a new boy and new child. It's really good, cool. Yes, Director Toth.
Thank you, Chair. It's unfortunately not on the agenda. I forgot that we didn't have a CAO report today, and I'd alluded to something over the lunch break that I'm hoping we can get an update from the corporate officer on, which is our AAPs that we're about to launch. So I wanted that to be sort of part of the meeting record as well.
Okay. Would corporate officer, would you be prepared to fill us in on that? A little item of unexpected new business.
Thank you, Chair. Well, it's actually not new business, but just to remind everyone, we are launching 2 AAPs tomorrow, so there will be information on SCRD's website as well as our Let's Talk page. And I'll also turn everyone's attention to the Coast Reporter. We'll have a full-page statutory ad in the newspaper. There are 2 projects that are going out for elector approval. One of them involves our community recreation facilities, where we are at a time now where we need to do some capital improvements. We need to do some roof replacement work. So the board has proposed to borrow a loan over a 10-year term to fund that work. And the second project that we are seeking elector approval for is a fire rescue apparatus truck for the Half Moon Bay Fire Department. And again, that information is on our website, it's on our Let's Talk page, and or come into the SCRD office, and we'll be happy to talk to you more about that.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think that pretty much concludes it. We're going to, if nobody else has anything, we're going to be going, motion to go in camera, that the public be excluded from attendance at the meeting in accordance with section 91A GK of the Community Charter. Yes, I see a motion made. I see a seconder. Everybody ready to vote? All in favor? Cool, done. And before we go, there any questions? Is there anybody in the gallery? Oh, he probably doesn't have questions. No. Okay, so we will secure the building. Good afternoon and welcome back to the June 8th, 2022 regular board meeting of the Sunshine Coast Regional District. I would like a motion for adjournment, please. Director Bax, Director Toth. All those in favor? That's passed. We're adjourned. Thank you.